Time now for this hour's car review, Mr. Mars, the Ford Explorer.
Yeah, buddy. This is a 2025 Ford Explorer. Now, it comes
Explorer.
Explorer. The final assembly point is in Chicago, Illinois. I can get that part straight.
There you go.
4 trim levels: active, the ST line, and then the platinum, and then you have the ST standalone. Now, we happen to be driving the active, which is actually the base model. Now, this is considered a standard SUV. We used to call them midsize, but now they're standard. Seats 6 people because of the interior, the way we had it said. Now, it's been refreshed on the front and rear, and this is the 6th gen of this vehicle.
So they offer a bench seat in the front?
No. We have bucket seats in the second row. So it's 2, 2, 2.
Okay.
I was saving that for later, but
we'll get to the interior part.
Yeah, we'll get to the interior part.
We'll get there.
So you're going to find you got the automatic LED headlights, taillights, fog lights, and even LED signature lamps. They make a big deal out of that.
Yeah, they do.
Heated side mirrors, got black roof rails, got a rear spoiler that's body colored, power lift gate, got the optional 20-inch 10-spoke wheels that we're rolling on. Now, this is on the interior. It's got ActiveX seating material. Front seat is buckets. They're heated. Second row is buckets. Third row is a 50-50 fold flat. That is, I'm going to say, very suited to smaller personnel. Now, you're going to find that you got a 12.3-inch digital gauge cluster that for the driver, configurable, several different ways that you can configure that. You've got a 13.2-inch touchscreen, which is new for this year. And that's where you're going to find your infotainment, your nav, all your convenience controls. Has Android Auto, Apple CarPlay, and they're starting to bring in more of the Google services there. USB-Cs on all levels for all the seats. I really like the way that controls were laid out, particularly the shifter in the console. It's a rotary shifter. I would rather have seen it up on the dash where I had a little more room down on the console, but that's fine. 2.3-liter EcoBoost up underneath the hood, 300 horsepower, 310 pound-feet of torque, backed by a 10-speed automatic. So you can actually tow 5,300 pounds with this vehicle. Now, the EPA says in the city you should be looking for about 20, highway 27, combined about 23. I drove this vehicle 451.3 miles, got 21.5 miles across that whole thing. And I really like the wide power band because it rolled up pretty quick. When you started it and rolled into it, it was very responsive, nice wide power band, great road manners, very comfortable to drive. Now, the base trim price on this vehicle, $39,785. You're going to find that the base model price was $41,755 as tested, MSRP at $48,520. Something to compare it to, the Kia Telluride starts at $36,390. Mazda CX-90, $37,845, and the Hyundai Palisade at $37,200. Great driving vehicle. I really like driving it. It just should have been a 2-row. Anyway, that's my review of the 2025 Ford Explorer.
You know, if I'm not mistaken, I don't think that gets recalled very much.
No, it doesn't. And like I say, that's the 6th gen. It was introduced in 2020, so they've been tweaking it pretty good for the last 5 years.
Yeah. A friend of mine asked me, I'm really looking at that new Nissan Armada. I said, okay.
It's big.
Why? Well, it's not as big as you think. They've cut back on that. But I told him, I said, this is a first-generation vehicle. You sure you want to get into that? Because you're basically being a test mule.
Yeah, you're a guinea pig,
expect problems and expect it to be recalled. It's just part of the deal. You want to be cutting edge, then you're going to have to pay the pony on that one.
Mm-hmm. One of my daughters had one of these about 6 years ago, and she loved it. You know, she drove the wheels off of it.
Yeah.
Literally.
All right. The In-Wheel Time Car Talk Show will continue. Thanks for being with us today here on the In-Wheel Time Car Talk Show. Let's check in with Jeff's car culture.
You betcha. Despite the overall solid and stable market of classic cars, there are some cars that have actually lost their value. This first one we have is a 1957 Ford Thunderbird. The Ford Thunderbird was fresh. Everybody loved it. The car wasn't excessively oversized. Rather, a two-seater, came with a well-proportioned design. The removable top as well as a panoramic windshield were highly appreciated among the young drivers. In 57, the model had a 202 cubic inch V8, it was improved by mating it to twin McCulloch superchargers. This stock modification aimed to increase the power outlet to 300 horsepower and 340 pounds worth of
That's stout.
Yep. Now, this, back in the day, or not very long ago, actually a couple of years ago, this car was 40 grand. Today, it's less than 30. It's about 29.4 is what they value it today. And this is according to Haggerty. The next one we have on the plate is a 1957 Pontiac Bonneville, gorgeous car. The Pontiac Bonneville was only produced in 56 and 57. It's a very expensive car back in the day. The reason it was priced that way, it was higher than its competitors with a limited production. They only made 630 of these units, and each of the units was destined. Each of the units was destined for the Pontiac dealerships on the U.S. side. Nothing went abroad, and you know how you like broads. The Bonneville presented some outstanding features that were pretty uncommon on most 50s cars. Everything was power. Everything was electric. So it was a high-class, very quality car. Back not very long ago, it was $112,500. Today, it's about 73 grand.
Wow.
Yeah. Jaguar 65, the Jaguar E-Type SI 4.2. In response to the American Corvettes and the German Porsche, Jaguar released the stunning and beautiful E-Type, which was also called the most beautiful car ever made by Enzo Ferrari himself. So he tagged that. Presented in 61 at the Geneva Motor Show, the speechless audience was amazed by its aircraft-inspired lines and some innovative technical solutions. Back in the day, not very long ago, the car was 130 grand. Today, it's a little over 100 grand. So it has lost some value there. The next one we have is a 1953 to 1954 Cadillac Eldo, gorgeous car.
Oh, my God. Look at the size of that thing.
I know.
They all say that.
Yes, they do. The Cadillac Eldorado was the most luxurious model produced by the car manufacturer up to that time. Every single detail of the car bears a sense of fanciness and just extraordinary. Starting from the car's name, some say the Eldorado was suggested in reference to the mythical city of gold. Some others reported that the same name was chosen at the Eldorado Country Club located in Coachella Valley, California, the favorite holiday location for the GM top executive management.
What are those things called? Dagmars.
Dagmars. Now, not very long ago, this car was $162,500. Today, it's about 120 grand. So it did lose value. Next, we have the 58 Ferrari 250 California long wheelbase. There's a difference. The most desirable Ferrari of all time is the 250 California.
No, it's not.
That's what they're telling me.
Okay.
The two-seater came in two different wheelbase versions, a short wheelbase model and a long wheelbase model. This one's the long. Extremely high-value collectible car, also due to the limited production of only 50 units. The beating heart of the Ferrari 250 California is a 3-liter naturally aspirated V12. Produced some 240 horsepower, a little weak, while one of the 50 models in the good condition could possibly get $12,500,000. Today's value is about $9 million. So, there you go. Watch your money, people, when you're buying Ferraris. Don't just throw it away. The last one we have here, gorgeous car. I want one. The 1970 Buick Riviera GS, baby.
Who put the skirts on the back wheels?
I don't know, but I'd drive it. Oh, yeah, baby. Here we go. The Buick Riviera has a special role in the golden era of muscle car fleets. Due to the high-end nature of this car, it received a warm welcome since its very first release. It wasn't a muscle car like the others. Its luxury interior, completed by wooden details and fine leather seats, made the Riviera stand out. I agree. Also in 1970, the Grand Sport package was available. The Riviera wasn't only about details, but it was a car of substance. Bulky 455 cubic inch, developed 370 horsepower, 0 to 60 in 7.9. Back in the day, it was 20 grand. Today, you can get it for about $14,000.
Wow.
So there you go.
Hey, that's my future right there.
There you go.
Yeah.
Get rid of the
Skirts and
Corvette.
everything.
Yeah. Think that the Corvette's expensive to take care of? Can you imagine trying to find parts for that thing?
Plus, it's bigger than the Corvette. You need a bigger garage.
Time now for this.
There you go.
Time now for this hour's car review. Had a chance to drive the 2025 Ford F-150. Final assembly location, Dearborn, Michigan.
Yeah, buddy.
The home of Ford Motor Company. It comes in these trim levels: XL, STX, XLT, Lariat, Tremor, Platinum, King Ranch, and Raptor. Reviewed trim level, 4x4 Super Crew King Ranch. Oh, my God. Your living room is not this nice. I promise you. This is a standard pickup truck, seats 5 people. 14th generation. Yes, 14th generation.
Wow.
Redesigned and all new for 2021. Exterior features: classic Ford design with conservative, not overpowering grille. It seems to be a thing these days, and I don't get it. Wheel opening trim varies depending on the trim level that you choose. Swinging tailgate. Yeah, it's a swinging tailgate option. When it opens, it allows for easy bed access and reach. So it's got like a door within the tailgate. It's in the middle of it, and you can swing it open.
Yeah.
It's cool. Yeah. There's their competition. They all have something special. That General Motors one is pretty cool, too. And it helps in you getting closer to the bed. So if you got something really heavy and you want to get it in the bed, you don't have to put it on the tailgate and shove it in. You just go right to the bed with it.
Yeah, you don't have to reach over and strain your back any more than you already
What
did.
I liked about it, the optional Pro Power for camping or working with a 120-volt connection. That is very cool. Do any of the others have that?
I think they're starting to put
I
them
think
in.
they're putting some plugs back there.
So many. Listen, here's the deal. And this is directly from
Tesla
Ford.
comes to mind.
There are so many options and trims and configurations. If you can't find one on the lot, which is highly unlikely, somewhere in the state of Texas there's one exactly the way you want it.
Absolutely.
But order it. And I say that because I had a question to Ford one time. This is years ago. I said, so what if I'm going to pull a trailer with the half-ton pickup truck? Can I change out the rear axle? Because I'm going to tow it a lot. The majority of the truck's work is going to be towing a big boat or whatever it is that I'm towing.
Right.
Trailer.
Load, yeah.
Yes, you can do that. Chances are you're going to have to special order it because for the most part, now with these new 10-speed automatic transmissions, sometimes you don't have to change the rear axle. But if you are going to drive in a mountainous area, for instance, travel to Colorado all the time, and you're pulling your travel trailer behind you in the half-ton, tongue weight, everything else is good, you might want to go for a lower differential, right? And so there's that. Order it from the factory is my suggestion. Interior highlights. Awesome, easy to find dash buttons and switches, configurable instrument cluster, huge touchscreen with killer radio in it. And I checked the radio out with David Ainsley because he wanted to hear his fine work that he did with the new transmitter at 107.5. My God, that thing sounded like $1 billion. Yeah, so I can't imagine somebody taking that out and putting an aftermarket radio in it because that thing works great. Configurable instrument cluster, as I said, the huge touch screen. King Ranch leather interior is beautiful and comfortable. The cargo in the back seat is superb. Fold up the seats. What I loved about it, the Blue Cruise for highway is absolutely the best. And, it basically guides you through it. If it's time for you to put your hands on the wheel, it'll tell you to do that. It's easy to use. Loved the work surface that uses the back side of the center console and the armrest. Folds out over the shifter in the center console. The shifter goes down into the console. It's really cool. This thing is a Swiss Army knife of goodness. Turn the page.
I like that.
3.5-liter twin-turbo V6 with a 1.5 kilowatt per hour lithium battery motor. Turns out a total of 430 horsepower with 570 pound-feet of torque. Tow rating up to 13,500 depending on the configuration. Haul rating up to 2,445 pounds depending on the configuration. City, 22 miles per gallon. Highway, 24. Combined at 23. I got 19.3 over 348.7 miles. What I liked, the mileage was better than the 13 miles per gallon this thing used to get when it had the V8 engine in it.
Nice.
The V6 is really awesome. What could use improvement? Nothing. What I liked, fairly smooth without a load of any kind in it, which was kind of surprising because, a pickup truck is made to haul stuff. Well, with that, you got to have the suspension that can take the heavy load.
Right.
1,000 pounds in the bed would make it a lot smoother. Of course, it would cut down on the gas mileage a little bit, but you really don't need anything in the bed. It rides pretty well. Air suspension option would be good. Base trim price, $74,805. Prices tested, $79,825. I didn't say it was cheap.
Right.
Base model price, $44,995. Chevy 1500 is one of its competitors. It starts at $42,700. The Ram 1500 starts at $43,025. And the Toyota Tundra starts at $40,090.
Nice.
Yeah. It works well. If you're on for a truck, shop around, but I think that you're going to wind up checking out in Ford. All right.